Hello, everyone, and welcome to week 10. Amazing, it's gone that fast, but week 10 of Pillar Principles: Be Vigilant about Confidentiality. Our customers and their families share information with us because they need and trust us. Honor and be worthy of that trust by keeping their information in confidence and taking appropriate steps to safeguard how and where it's used. The same is true for information about our own organization as well as about your teammates. Give customers and teammates a strong sense of security. I think what's interesting about this particular principle is it wasn't an option for us, right? We don't get an option on confidentiality. It's required, and without confidence and trust, we simply don't have an organization. And so this one's obviously super critical for us. We can't get it right 99% of the time. We simply have to be right 100% of the time on this one. So, and I find this concept of confidentiality, it's nuanced, right? I mean, I think we all understand we can't run home at night and talk to our families about some large deposit a customer made or how much money or how many times somebody's overdrawn. I think we all get that and understand if we did something like that, we'd be out of a job. Um, but it's the more nuanced examples that I think are harder to get right or to be ones we have to be more vigilant about. And an example like if a customer is overdrawn and they say, well, I'll just run to another office and cash a check. Obviously, it's our responsibility to call that office and say, hey, so and so's overdrawn, they're on their way. That's appropriate, but not appropriate to say, hey, so and so's overdrawn. You go down in the lunchroom and having lunch with other employees and saying, hey, geez, you see so and so's overdrawn, they must had a bad weekend or something like that. That's not okay. And so it's more nuanced. And to give you an example of that is I serve on the hospital board here, and a couple months back, the hospital does an engagement survey just like we do, and they were doing some things with it that I thought were really interesting. And so I brought those concepts. I talked to our senior management about some of those concepts, and um, when I was talking to Haley, the CEO of the hospital, about that, and I just mentioned to her, not thinking much of it, I said, hey, I talked to our senior management about your engagement survey. And the look on her face was just horrified. And I thought, my God, I think she must have thought that I actually took their survey results and showed them to our senior management. And so I had to explain to her, I'm just the concepts of what you're doing is what I'm sharing. And but it dawned on me at that point, like I have to be really careful about even sharing concepts like that and what information I'm bringing back from my role there to bring it back here. And so it's very nuanced, and you have to be super sensitive, I think, on this topic. So just encourage you to be very mindful of it. The other part I think is really important for us is how do we safeguard data? Do you keep information on your desk or your workstations? Are we locking our doors when we leave at night? Just exactly what are you doing to safeguard information throughout the day? Again, it only takes one slip up and we've got major problems. And so I'll give you an example. I take my laptop home every day, and 4 days a week I have to stop in Woodbury to pick up my daughter from gymnastics. Oftentimes I stop at the grocery store or Home Depot, and I will tell you when I do that, I bring my laptop into the store with me. I walk around County Market with my briefcase, and probably looks kind of goofy, but I'm just so afraid, and I know there's a lot of theft, particularly in Hudson and Woodbury, and so I don't trust it, so I actually bring my laptop in with me. And just to put kind of a fine point on this, there is a business here in town that I would love to have as a customer, but he simply will not bank in town, not just with us, but he will not bank in town because he's afraid of confidentiality or people talking about how much money he makes, what does he have. And I've had many discussions with him about it and explained to him how good we are at this and we've never had issues. And but it's just simply too big of an issue for him, and so he banks out of town. He just simply will not bank in town. So it's a super critical, as it should be, issue for our customers and for us. So let's continue to be vigilant about confidentiality. It's the core of what we do. Thanks, and have a good week.